What's up, everybody? I am Destroyer, and today we have a new draft that we're going to be playing in that I wanted to introduce you guys to. But before we do that, I need to introduce you to my new logo. You know me as the coach of the Washington Wake primarily. We are getting into a new era of Pokemon here soon, with Mega Evolutions coming back very shortly. I previously kind of reacted negatively towards Mega Dragonite. Even playing my last season in IDL as Make Dragonite Great Again, the big beautiful dragons. It's really grown on me since. He's my channel mascot, he's my favorite Pokemon, and I really want to embrace Mega Dragonite going forward, and that's why we are playing as the Emerald City Extreme Speed. I am a Washingtonian. Emerald City is the nickname of Seattle, if you are not familiar. That is the Space Needle there. Loving this new logo, excited to use it going forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it a crappy new logo? Should I have gone back to my old one? Am I a total flip-flop for changing my view on Mega Dragonite? Regardless of how you feel about that, I hope that you'll join me this season. We are in the Lake Guardian Association, LGA. Really excited to be a part of this league. This is kind of a standard format draft with high tier Tera. We get 110 points as well as 30 Tera points to draft an exact number of 10 Pokemon. So that said, my first round pick, I was picking kind of late. It was pick number 11, I think. Debated on whether or not I should actually take this one, but I picked one of my favorite Pokemon that I haven't used for quite a while, and I don't think any time since I started recording. We went with Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire is just such a monster. It really excels on weather teams. It's easy to put on weather teams. We're not going to be a weather team. Spoiler alert there. It's 15-point cost, by the way. But yeah, this thing is just really bulky, really strong. Photosynthesis and weather boosts for it. It has dual stab, base 120 attacks available to it. It's got recovery. It has setup. It's a dragon that is neutral to fairy and ice, which is really nice. So I'm just really hoping that this thing can be kind of the start of a couple of my defensive cores as well, with fire and dragon, two important typings there. We'll get into that more later on. But yeah, it felt like a really good Pokemon to have and to build around, and one that I've not used in quite a long time and excited to use again. In the next round, I was able to pick up something that kind of fell into the second round that arguably maybe I should have taken first over Gouging Fire, and that is Tera Captain Zarude. Zarude is just one of the most powerful Tera Captains allowed in this format, if not the most powerful Tera Captain allowed in this format. We used it once in WPF. It did pretty well for us there. I really feel like there's more that we can do with it, though. It's got good, respectable speed. It's got a lot of bulk. It's got recovery. It's got setup. And yeah, and with Open Tera, there's just really a lot that I think we can do with this. Yeah, so for our first two picks, we have two really kind of bulky, potentially defensive or recovery at least on them, bulky kind of setup sweeper type mons here. Going into our third round, we are continuing with that trend to an extent. We went with another one of my favorites that I have been using quite a bit recently, and that is Quaquaval. I have just really grown to love Quaquaval. Overall, I really appreciate having a offensive rapid spinner that is not kind of shoehorned into being a rapid spinner. So that's Quaquaval, that's Great Tusk, that's Iron Treads, that's Excadrill. Yeah, I just like having the option to remove hazards if I want to, but I also have the option to Swords Dance with Quaquaval, or just to click Aqua Step. There's a lot of games where you can just click Aqua Step and win. That's because of its Moxie ability, giving a boost after it kills something, as well as, of course, Aqua Step giving a speed boost after a kill or two, depending on your opponent's team and their speed control options. This thing can get out of hand really fast, and I just love that. So started off with three Pokemon that I really like. Quaquaval's not as bulky as the others, but I consider this kind of a bulky offense. They're all physical attackers, which we're going to have to even out here pretty soon. But we have already our Fire, Water, Grass core here with three great offensive mon. I mentioned the imbalance so far with special attackers, and so I wanted to work on fixing that next. We went with another Pokemon that I've liked, but I've only used once so far. We're going with Blood Moon Ursaluna. This was one of the most powerful special attackers left on the board. It has, you always need to have a ground type in draft, at least in my opinion. So this is going to be our ground type. We also have Spectrier and Dragapult in the format. Normal is a really great type to help shut down those really overpowered ghosts. And in general, we always try and get at least one of the big bears, the Ursas, on our teams, just kind of for fun. If Dragonite wasn't my mascot, it probably would be Ursaluna. Whether it's regular Ursaluna, Blood Moon, or Ursaring, I just always really like to have one of them. So Blood Moon it is this time. We got our ground, we got a strong special attacker. We move on into the 5th round, and before I get there, I will say I made a couple of transactions. So this Pokemon I didn't actually initially pick in the 5th round, but it ended up taking that spot because the mon that I picked in the 5th round, I ended up trading out. But we have Deoxys Defense. Deoxys Defense is a great defensive pivot. Obviously 160 in both its defense and special defense. Pretty good speed for a defensive mon. This thing has a really deep move pool. I wanted it specifically for its utility options, which include Stealth Rock, as well as Spikes, as well as dual screens. It's got Thunder Wave. It has Teleport, which is a really cool pivot move because it's a negative priority pivot move. So even though we have got 90 speed, we can still use this thing as a slow pivot versus other slower mons. So it's just a really nice defensive pivot for us, as well as offering just a ton of utility in one single Pokemon. In round number 6, we decided to go for our Fairy as well as our Poison. But it's not Pheasantipity, it is Galarian Weezing. I've never actually used Galarian Weezing before. Really excited to try this one out. It's been a kind of a pain in my ass a couple of times to kill. Maybe because I like dragons, maybe because I often have physical attackers. But yeah, this thing can be really hard to kill. It's very physically defensive compared to specially defensive. It has 3 really great utility moves. In addition to being 2 crucial types for us, which are Poison and Fairy, we have Levitate. So it's a poison that's not weak to ground. We really love that. We've got Neutralizing Gas, which neutralizes the abilities of other mon. That can certainly come in handy in a variety of situations. It also has Misty Surge, which can give us a terrain option in some matchups, which might be interesting to have. So it's got 3 really cool abilities, good defensive Pokemon. We got quite a bit of bulk so far, and we're going to keep going with that as we get our Steel type in our next pick, which was Empoleon. So second water for us, first Steel. When I was looking at Steel, there was a few different options I was looking at. And by the way, I always think that Steel is an important typing to have on your team. But I wanted a Steel that was also especially offensive. So, Empoleon has 111 base special attack. It has the ability Competitive in addition to the kind of the default starter Torrent ability. Yeah, so this thing can kind of pseudo defog block with Competitive. If somebody wants to defog on us, we will get a pretty good boost out of that, or if they want to web us, that could potentially cause issues for them as well. This thing can roost, it gives us a second Stealth Rock setter. It has a variety of utility moves as well as offensive move pool, and it gives us another decent special attacker behind Ursaluna that also is resisting water and ice types that threaten Ursaluna. So next up, we went with, again, more special offense. We're also, as you can see, getting a little bit low on our points here. We're down to 16. This next one cost us 6 points, which I thought was kind of a bargain. It is Tornadus Incarnate. In draft, Tornadus Therian is all over the place. It's usually a first round pick because of its regenerator ability, as well as having better speed than Tornadus Incarnate. But we still have a 111 base speed on Tornadus Incarnate, which is really good. There's a lot of 110 base mon around, so being able to be 1 point higher than them is really a nice option for us to have. We get 2 abilities in Defiant, giving us kind of another block on Defog, as well as Prankster, which we don't have Thunder Wave on this like a Thundurus has, its brother there, but does give us Prankster weather options. For example, we can set up a sunny day for our Gouging Fire potentially, or maybe some rain for our Quaquaval. There's Tailwind, that's an option. there's bulk up if we go for a physical set. This thing is primarily specially offensive, but it's also got a very usable physical offense as well. So yeah, it just seemed like a good flexible mon. It has a pretty decent move pool. Only 6 points. Gives us something speedy that's a mixed attacker, and it can also provide support for the rest of our team. We've got 10 points left. Moving into the 9th round, we're going to spend 9 of them. We are getting our second Tera captain, which is Tera Jolteon. So this is going to be our elite speed mon in the format. We are base 130 speed. We also, on top of that, have the ability Quick Feet. We can give this thing a Flame Orb, which will give it a 1.5 speed boost and will outspeed pretty much anything that we need it to. 110 special attack honestly leaves a little bit to be desired here, but Jolteon can be really good at just kind of cleaning up the scraps, being an offensive pivot. With Tera and Electric, we can get access to that fabled Bolt Beam combo, or ultimately whatever typing looks good for us in a matchup, we can have the fastest mon on the field with offenses in that type. Gotta say, we do have a little bit of opportunity cost here because we have Tera Zarude. Tera Zarude is very good and wants to use Tera most matchups, but it doesn't necessarily have to use it each matchup. And having Jolteon as an option is certainly not bad for us, and also is not necessarily Tera dependent in any given match. So that brings us to our last mon. We had 1 point left. We had 1 Tera point left as well. So I found a 1 point non-Tera tax mon that I felt like brought utility to our team, and it is Charjabug. Charjabug is kind of a well-known budget web setter. You've seen us use Swadloon quite a bit on this channel, and I really love Swadloon. I was almost talked into taking Swadloon again. I wanted to give Charjabug a try. Charjabug usually gets taken by somebody else before I get to it, and so Swadloon often has been kind of my option. Kind of my backup option to Charjabug. But Charjabug can set webs. It's very bulky with its Eviolite. It can Volt Switch. It can Thunder Wave, and it has actually a couple different little coverage moves in there as well, other than Electric, that it can use to do at least a little bit of chip damage on something if it needs to. So yeah, that's the team. We are going to be, I think, shooting for Friday uploads. So yeah, hope to see you guys on Fridays, and I really think that this team has quite a bit of potential. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, as well again as if you think my new logo is shitty or not. And yeah, excited for the season. Hope to see you guys there.